Well, guys, should we do it? Should we review She-Hulk Episode 5?
She-Hulk Episode 5.
Yeah, She-Hulk.
That would be a better theme song, really. You know what I miss is like the singing theme songs from the 60s where they just explain the show.
She's as big as a man, but she doesn't have a penis. She-Hulk.
Oh, man. So episode 5 entitled Mean, Green, and Straight Poured Into These Jeans.
All right.
I think them jeans would have sounded better. So we started out with a Titania commercial because, as we know, we left off last episode finding out that Titania got the trademark rights to the name She-Hulk. So there's a commercial where basically Titania is selling a line of beauty products called She-Hulk for the Hulk in you. So now we go to Jen, she's at her apartment, she's upset about this, and I know there's this male character that stops by, and he's trying to get her to sign the She-Hulk products, and she says, I know this guy was in another episode, apparently his name is Ched.
Was this one of her brothers or something?
I don't know if it's her brother or her cousin. He was at that family dinner.
Okay. So he's related.
He's related somehow. Ched is his name.
Ched and Pug.
Yeah, I wonder what's up with the male names in this show. Ched and Pug.
Starting to wonder if the women who wrote this show have ever met a man.
I'm Blorg. Nice to meet you.
So Jen and Nikki, they go to this beauty convention to confront Titania, and there's all the, She-Hulk type products there. It's really brief. Basically, she goes up to him and she wants the name back, but Titania refuses, and that's that. Then
This is such a milquetoast conflict,
I know.
Yeah.
and it never goes anywhere.
I mean, once again, this episode doesn't advance the overall plot at all.
There's no story.
I mean, it's weird because there's a lot of sitcoms that just we have this and next week everything resets,
Yeah.
But this show does have some continuity through it, but it's
they don't
it's
even
weird.
have a contained episode though.
No,
They don't have an overarching story. Really, they don't have a contained episode.
No, it's this weird halfway in between,
yeah.
and it. I kind of feel that Miss Marvel was that way a little bit too.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it bounced around, but it did have at least some overarching. I'd say it came together more in the last episodes than some of the earlier ones.
Back at the office, Jen and Nikki have a conversation where Jen admits to Nikki that there are aspects of being She-Hulk that she likes. Because she's been kind of contentious for most of the show, saying that it, she wish it didn't happen or whatever. But we see she's obviously is mad about losing the name, and she crushes a stapler. So now speaking of Pug asked Nikki to help him get a second pair of these Iron Man sneakers that are coming out because they're limited to one person. So he wants her to stand in line so he can get a second pair, and she's fine, but then I get a favor. So Pug says, now you guys are younger and hipper than me. That's not, well, you're younger. Pug says he has a drip broker that can get him any article of clothing that he wants. What? I feel like I've heard this term drip used by people, but I don't know what the fuck it means. Do you know what drip
I think it's
means?
just style, fashion.
God, I'm too fucking old for this shit. Drip broker. I'm going to become a drip broker.
This interaction and where it goes is so random.
I know. So Nikki, for her favor, wants him to use this drip broker to get clothing for She-Hulk.
Right. So It's so random. If somebody like she doesn't even know, hasn't heard of, just some random guy this other guy knows, and she's like, "This is the guy who's gonna put things together for us. He's gonna tailor some clothes for this woman."
Exactly.
It did seem like we'll get to it, but there is kind of like a degree of separation between like the actual guy who can make
Right.
the clothes.
Well, I mean, we might as well just go to it. Like, he takes her to this guy who's basically like a complete knob jockey, and he's selling like super cheap knockoff crap. But somehow that guy knows the tailor to the stars. Like,
Yeah,
it's
so, like-
completely
Like somebody
random.
fed him a breadcrumb to another breadcrumb that would
Right.
lead to like.
Okay, so yeah, I wrote this. So Nikki and Pug go to a boba cafe, which is a front for superhero clothing. Now, it's like, I guess maybe the first guy is breaking the law, maybe because he's like selling knockoff Avengers merchandise. But is that even like, I don't,
Yeah, no one cares.
it definitely nobody cares to the extent that he would have to have this elaborate restaurant front.
And not only that, like the knockoff he's selling, he's trying not to break copyrights because it's like the Avengers and stuff.
That's the thing. So he's
It's just
probably not.
trash.
He's probably not even breaking the law because it's not Avengers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's selling just complete garbage. And I don't know, this other guy's like so proud to have this connection.
Yeah. So basically, since that guy has the connection to the real guy, he says they have to buy a bunch of the knockoff merchandise to get a meeting with him. So they do that. So then they switch, cut to them like just wearing all this guy's
But
merch.
I will admit, I thought this was humorous. I thought the whole thing was like fun and silly. You know, like I get that it didn't progress the story at all. But
Yeah.
it was.
I think
know,
I was more like confused and angry.
Yeah.
It's like, this doesn't make any sense.
I thought it was like somewhat amusing where like the lady talked to him in Chinese and then he
Right.
wasn't Chinese and she was like, did I pull a racist or whatever she said.
Yeah, I thought that's funny.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It just didn't make sense. Like when she was tasked with like finding someone to get her clothes or something, and somehow she does it this way and it works. But I was like, wouldn't your first thought be like, okay, you know what? I'm going to go look for a good tailor.
Yeah, that's true.
He's like, wait, do you know somebody who sells cheap shit out of Chinatown?
Well, listen, Pug just happened along to her at the right time.
Right time, right place.
I don't know if I wrote it in here, but basically they go to where like this place where like the real guy can see him on camera. And like at first, like he's not going to help him, but then they mention that their client is a superhero that's in the Avengers. And so he's like, oh, okay, make an appointment. So now, back at Jen's law firm, we find out that they hired a woman to represent her in a countersuit against Titania. And that woman, who we find out named is Miss Book, basically, I guess, wants She-Hulk to dress better, so she gets Nikki to help with that.
Yeah, maybe. It seems like they're all like ragging on her clothes because she's just wearing one like
Giant suit.
Andre the Giant suit or something.
But see, when they had that scene, I was thinking, oh, she wants her to get a suit, like a better suit she can wear for the trial. But she doesn't get it till after the trial's over. So
Yeah, she even points that out. She was like, says something about like I was hoping you'd get something before the trial was over or something. Or, like it was too late, but
I see. So anyway, now they have the trial. Miss Book argues that She-Hulk was referred to by the public as She-Hulk before Titania's claim, and thus she should get the right to use it. While Titania argues that Jen is trying to capitalize on the success of her products, and so that she should get to keep the name, basically. So they play a clip of Jen where she's saying like she hates the name, she thinks it's derivative, and she will not be known as She-Hulk. So, but then Miss Book plays a clip of Jen saying whether she likes it or now, she is forever She-Hulk, or so then the judge like basically says like the trial's going to pick up at a later date. But she says she's inclined to side with Titania if more evidence isn't provided. Now, do judges actually do that? That's one thing I was wondering. Would a judge tip their hand like that and be like, I'm leaning towards that one. You better pick it up. I was like, is that a fucking thing?
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of weird. They're winning. They're winning.
Spoiler alert. Okay, so now they go meet the drip broker. His name is Luke. And instantly his first line when looking at him is, he goes, is the Hag convention in town?
All right.
And I'm like, I feel like I've seen like this character in so many movies and TV shows, like the like flamboyant, like gay stylist. And who's
also an asshole.
He's always a catty asshole like this. I'm like, maybe just to be different, have one of these guys that's just like a decent dude.
I mean, he's making clothes for superheroes. You'd think his heart would be in the right place.
So Luke doesn't want to make the suit initially, but then he's intrigued about making a suit that can adapt to Jen, like transforming, and she transforms from She-Hulk to Jen in front of him, and so he's like, And then I think he's like, get me some wool. I'm like, okay, that's gonna be a sweaty suit.
Yeah, I wouldn't think wool would be your go-to for stretchy suit.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's got to be really stretchy. He knows that stretchy wool. Oh, now this was somewhat interesting. So Todd from the bad date on the previous episode shows up.
Maybe it stretches when she hulks out and she washes it and it shrinks back. Maybe that's the trick.
I'm sure.
Her sweat helps it shrink back down.
So Todd from the bad date before shows up, and I wrote, could he be working for the bad guys like AJ thought? Because I thought he was going to be a one and done, but now he's back.
Yeah.
So do you still think he might be something more to him, or
I don't
is
know.
he a
Like,
two off?
I can't tell if they like establish him as like a good guy and that's just what he is now. Like
he's like a client of the law firm.
That's what I was missing, because like we find out like in a minute she's going to use him to win the trial, but why was he there initially?
He's had his own meeting, like he has his own business with the law firm and he just happened to run into her. Is what it sounded like anyway.
I meant to look it up. I feel like I've seen that Miss Book lady act in something else, but I couldn't quite place her.
Nah, I didn't.
Yeah, she's pretty hot though. I was like, she had her chest out in that courtroom scene, and I was like, I don't think I could be judging that. I would be impartial.
I judge them to be fantastic. I'm leaning towards your hot lawyer. So Jen plans on calling her bad She-Hulk dates as witnesses, because she set up the She-Hulk profile, and she's like, oh, I was referring to myself as She-Hulk to these guys. Thus, that was before the name was claimed by Titania. And that works.
Yeah, that's pretty much how she has this great idea. They go to court, and it's over.
I mean, is that really any more substantial than like the proof they laid out in court before? Where,
yeah, it's more.
Well, I mean,
it's more. Is it better?
Like they like kind of drilled it. Like she had to provide evidence that, more evidence that she was actually taking up the name She-Hulk. And that just, I don't know why she couldn't have just shown the profile. Like, hey, this has been up since this time.
That's
These are
true.
the messages that I've been having back and forth as this profile.
But she didn't have that aha moment until Todd showed up, and she was like, oh, yeah, Todd was an asshole. I went on a date with, oh, yeah, I was She-Hulk on that date.
Right.
They needed that whole revelation. So, yeah, she wins the case, and then she buys Miss Book a drink at the bar. I don't even remember their conversation. I think Miss Book was like, oh, you can do better in terms of men or something like that.
Yeah, but wasn't she like trying to get in her pants?
I don't think
She was
so.
trying to get some skizzers, and the other lady was like, "Nah."
I mean, that would save this show. Scissor me timbers, Miss Book.
I'd watch that.
She's got to be She-Hulk at the time. And Miss Book is like, man, my pussy is raw.
Yeah, that's true. She-Hulk would destroy her.
She did have like an awkward thing where she was like calling her friend. I don't think they were trying to imply like a potential romance, but I'm not against it if they were.
Well, she had like a little aside when she asked her out for drinks,
Sure.
where she like broke the wall or whatever. I was like,
Yeah. But I think it was just because she was eager to make a friend, I thought.
That's the way I interpreted it, but
"Who gets excited about friends?"
Somebody really lonely.
Nobody.
I mean, look, if they're gonna have a She-Hulk Miss Book romance, I'm all for it. So now Jen picks up her clothes from Luke, and like he's like, oh, and I made you an extra something, and I think she says, oh, I don't know when I'd wear this. So do we think that's some sort of super suit?
Yeah, some sort of cape or something to go with her outfit. I don't know, something weird.
I thought it was like a bustier or something.
I mean, isn't the old school She-Hulk costume just like a pair of like athletic shorts?
Yeah,
It'd be awesome. He's
it
like,
was
I put all this work into these
I thought it was
Speedos.
like a unitard.
She might have had one of those at one point too. I'm not super sure.
Okay.
There was just at Comic-Con, we went to the Rose City Comic-Con last weekend, and there was actually a woman dressed as She-Hulk, and she was like super muscular and like painted green, and she was wearing like she had her abs out, and then she had like just the like kind of small pair of athletic shorts like from the old school comics. And then it ends with us getting a tease of Daredevil's mask. So apparently Daredevil, he uses the same tailor.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Daredevil, man. I hope he'll be in the next episode.
I'm sure they'll really write him well.
See, that's my concern. Is I love Daredevil. He's even on my shirt today. And I really like the Netflix series, but I just feel like they're going to do my guy dirty. I feel like they're going to make him not as interesting.
He's like a sexist asshole. Bitches can't be lawyers.
I may be blind, but I can sense you're a huge bitch.
That would be funny.
Is that green I smell?
I can smell your pheromones. You're hot for that Miss Book lady.
I mean, let's see what they do with it. There's part of me that still thinks that maybe those 4 guys who attacked her earlier and that guy, what's his name, who went on a date with her?
Oh, Todd.
Maybe they're attached to like Kingpin somehow. Maybe he's the underworld boss who's trying to get her DNA. I don't know. Maybe that's something there.
Yeah, I mean, that's another thing is like, I assume like Titania is gonna, because like she even said like this isn't over, or something to that effect, right? So I assume like she'll be back, but it's like I don't know, like I want the show to like finally pick up and do something interesting.
Drop a hint as to what we're going towards.
And it's also like the cliffhanger from last episode was, oh, she trademarked the name, and then this episode is like, well, that's resolved.
Yeah. Get ready for Daredevil.
I wonder if Daredevil will be in the next episode, because you know how some shows will do that thing where like they'll have a really like steep cliffhanger, and then they'll like be like, no, we'll make them wait another week. We'll do like a one-off episode where it doesn't address it at all.
Yeah.
Some shows do that.
I hate those shows. No, I hope they don't do that. That's terrible. Yeah, no, don't just tease them and then leave them there and then barely touch them at like end of the season. Maybe like, oh, look, there's a sighting. That would not be cool with me.
Well, we saw like from stills that like he's gonna be in it, but like Maybe we got his helmet, this week. Maybe next week it'll be like his cod piece. Be like, we're getting closer to him.
This also shrinks and grows with the superhero.
And wasn't it yellow too? Like they're doing the yellow
Yeah, it
version
looked like
of Daredevil.
yellow. Yeah. I don't know. I've seen him as red, and I like him as red. I've never seen him as yellow before.
Well, like his very early in the comics, he was yellow, and then eventually they changed it to red. And yeah, I think that was the right choice. I mean, I think red is the better.
Yeah, it makes more
look.
sense.
Yeah. You know what's weird though? Like in the very first season of the Netflix Daredevil show, like for most of that, he just wears like the black.
Yeah.
And then, like, the very last episode, he finally gets a suit. But I don't know. Like, watching that show, I was like, I almost think he looked cooler in the black.
I really like that intro, too, that Netflix had to the show.
The music was good, cool,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. I hope they do something like that.
I kind of think... And, well, there was an article, I didn't read it, but, like... But basically, the headline was saying, like, the creators are... It sounded like they are kind of picturing this Daredevil show as like a fresh start, and like Born Again is more than just like, the famous Daredevil like comic book title, but like, the show is being born again, and it's going to be a little bit different. I mean, there is like a run on the comics by Mark Waid, Daredevil, where it is like a little more, lighthearted. So I could see him doing something like that, but I just think like. You want variety in the MCU, so like I do want a corner of it that feels more gritty,
dark. Yeah, I hear that. I'm down with that too. I like Daredevil being dark.
Well, what did you guys think of this week's episode of She-Hulk? Please, please, please comment below. Let us know, and let us know anything else you liked or didn't like, or things you'd like us to do in the future. All that good stuff. Go ahead, subscribe both to the YouTube channel and to our audio podcast on any podcast service choice you have. Leave us 5-star reviews. That helps us in the old algorithm. And why not come over on Twitter and talk to us there, guys? Where can people find you on Twitter?
At a name for this too, and that's number 2.
At unsolicited SUG.
And you can, of course, find me at Zach Jones Live. That's ZachJonesLive. And that is going to do it for all of our shenanigans and poppycock this week. Please, please, please tune in again next week. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Have a good one.